Are you planning an unforgettable day at Epic Universe and trying to figure out what should be on your list of must-do rides? Well, my name is Mike and I'm the owner of the Park Prodigy, a you preferred Universal Orlando travel agency where we help our clients come up with custom park plans for their next Universal Orlando vacation. And I know firsthand how confusing it can be to try to figure out and prioritize your must do rides, especially when you have kids of all different ages. And that's exactly why I decided to create this video to rank what I believe to be the must do Epic Universe rides. And here's the crazy thing that I've learned from visiting Epic Universe myself: I don't have Monsters Unchained or the new Harry Potter ride as my number one new ride at Epic Universe. And so that's why I'm creating this video, to make sure you don't miss out on any of what I believe are the best rides at Epic. So I'm breaking down everything from height requirements so you could figure out which ones are good for your kids, thrill factors, but overall, I'm really just here to fill you in on what I thought was the most fun and well done rides for theme park fans. And again, this is just my honest opinion. Take it, do with it what you may, but I'm really excited for this video, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Let's jump right in and let's start with the ranking. So total, there are 11 rides at Epic Universe. So we are going to start with number 11 and work our way down to what I believe is the best ride at Epic. So starting in at number 11, we have Constellation Carousel. So who loves this ride? Well, this is perfect for guests of all ages who really enjoy a classic carousel experience with a unique theme. Now, one of the things I will say is I almost put this ride a little bit higher up because of the vibes and the ambiance at night. But overall, I just felt like there are better rides. It is the least thrilling ride, or at least, enjoyable ride in the park. So that's why I have it at number 11. From a height requirement standpoint, there is no height requirement, but companions required for children under the height of 48 inches. And from a thrill rating standpoint, we're going to be at 1 out of 10, as this is a very gentle and relaxing ride. So over to number 10, and this was the ride I actually almost put at number 11. We have Fyre Drill. So don't get me wrong, this is a very, very cute ride, right? It's fun, it's enjoyable. If you love How to Train Your Dragon, and this is located in How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, I will say that you will probably enjoy this ride. For me personally, if you've been watching my channel, I do not like getting wet on rides, and you will get wet or potentially soaked on this ride. So that's the reason why I'm saying it's so high at number 10. So who would love this ride? Well, like I said, families and those who enjoy interactive water play attractions. From a height requirement standpoint, again, there's no height requirement, but companions are required for children under 48 inches. I will say that infants are not permitted on this ride. And from a thrill rating standpoint, just because it kind of is an interactive experience, we do have a thrill rating of 3 out of 10. Now, over to number 9, and this is one that has dropped down on my list, and we have Curse of the Werewolf. So this is located in Epic Universe Dark Universe. Who would love this ride? Well, families and those who are enjoying spinning coasters with a spooky but not overly intense theme. Now, one of the things that I've said in one of my other tips and tricks videos for Epic is, my honest opinion is, if you go on this ride at night, you'll get a completely different experience than during the day, just because it's really dark and you kind of don't see where you're going. But what I would say is, one of the things that I wasn't crazy about this ride is how unpredictable the spinning is. So you might not have that much spinning in your row, but then, the cart across from you is spinning nonstop like the teacups at Magic Kingdom. So overall, I also thought the ride was a little short, and I just think there's better rides at Epic that deserve a higher spot on the list. So from a height requirement standpoint, we do have 40 inches tall, and from a thrill rating standpoint, I did give this a 6 out of 10. And like I said, it really just is because each ride is going to be different with the amount of spinning that you could get. And you might be wondering, Mike, well, you're already at number 8. You haven't spoken about Yoshi's Adventure yet. Yoshi's Adventure is so low on everyone's list. Well, that's, again, guys, this is my ranking. This is from an enjoyability standpoint. This is why I'm creating this video. I really just wanted to fill everyone in at home. I think there are some hidden gems, and that's why we're continuing to go down the list. In at number 8, and we do have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and this is located in Super Nintendo World. So who would love this ride? Fans of Mario Kart, the video game series, and those who enjoy interactive dark ride experiences with a competitive element. So I would say one of the reasons why I have this lower on the list is I feel like the actual gameplay itself is very wonky, where honestly, I love Mario Kart, right? If you grew up, if you're millennial, and especially now your kids, if they have Switch, they could be playing Mario Kart. Like, it is such a fun game, and there are so many well done scenes within this ride that just kind of take you back to the game, right? And I love that. But from an actual gameplay, like interactive experience, most of the time I was just hitting buttons. I honestly, and it shows my age now, I had no idea what was going on. And so, that's why it's a little bit lower on the list. From a height requirement standpoint, we are at 40 inches. From a thrill rating standpoint, we are at 3 out of 10. One of the things I will say though is this queue is, if I was just rating queues, this would be top three in my opinion. Over to the next ride, which is number 7, and we have Dragon Racers Rally. So this is located at How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. And so who would love this ride? Well, families and those who enjoy interactive rides where you can control the experience, offering varying levels of thrill. So this ride takes you really high up in the air like you are flying on a dragon. That's why I have it here. I love just kind of being able to go up and kind of just coming down, feel like you're riding a dragon. And I have the height requirement standpoint at 48 inches. And so from a thrill rating standpoint, I gave this a 4 out of 10. But one of the things that I loved about this ride is just the views that you have of Epic Universe from this ride, right? I think that adds into the experience. This is an experience you really can't get anywhere else at Epic, and that's why I did put it a little bit higher than, let's say, Mario Kart. Okay, over to number 6, the moment everyone has been waiting for. Well, not really, I'm just joking around, but we have Yoshi's Adventure. So again, I thought that from a thrill rating standpoint, this ride is not thrilling at all. But I just thought from just an ambiance standpoint, just an enjoyable standpoint for families with very young kids, like it's just, I love that you get to kind of be taken around on Super Nintendo World, kind of like in a people mover ambiance. If you're familiar with the theme parks, it's a really, really same vibe. And that's why I really just loved it. I thought it was very, very enjoyable just to get off your feet, to enjoy the ride. So who would love this? Well, like I said, younger children and fans of Yoshi and the Super Mario universe who enjoy gentle, scenic rides. Universal also has like an interactive, like hidden Easter egg sort of game going on within the ride, which I thought was really, really clever. And then from a height requirement standpoint, we are going to be at 34 inches tall. Like I said, thrill rating standpoint, we are at a 1 out of 10. And so just like that, everyone, we are halfway through this list. I really hope that you're enjoying my ranking to this point. I'm sure that a lot of people at home will probably have some different variations or think I'm wrong in certain spots, but hopefully you are enjoying this video. And if you are, please just be sure to subscribe to our channel, as I have a lot more Epic Universe videos coming out in the coming weeks to make sure you're as prepared as possible for your next Universal Orlando vacation. And of course, like this video just so you help us out as much as possible, and we really, really appreciate all the love and the support on YouTube. But keeping the ranking going, over to number 5, and we have Donkey Kong's Minecart Madness, which is located in Super Nintendo World. And so, of course, if you're familiar with the video game, you know that a big part of the game is to jump tracks, right? And that's exactly what Universal has done here with Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. It is a family-friendly coaster, so who would love this, right? Of course, families and fans of the Donkey Kong franchise who enjoy a unique, family-friendly roller coaster experience. And one of the things I really loved about this ride too is, again, from an ambiance standpoint, there's certain parts of the ride where you're thrown out into the land, and it's just a really, really cool vibe. And I also thought the queue was very, very well done. So from a height requirement standpoint, we are going to be at 40 inches tall. From a thrill rating standpoint, again, this is more of a family-friendly kind of intro coaster. We're going to be at a 5 out of 10. So over to number 4, and this is a ride that kind of pulled back on my ranking list. Though I did a list before I actually went on the rides, and this one I had pretty much all the way up there, but now it's pulled back a little bit. But I also should say that I do think that this ride will have the longest wait time at Epic Universe, and we do have Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. So this is going to be located in the brand new Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. And who would love this ride? Well, of course, Harry Potter fans seeking a more action-oriented dark ride experience with less motion sickness compared to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. And that is, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is the ride within Hogwarts Castle. And me personally, again, if you've been watching my channel, you know I do not go on that ride at all. I get extremely motion sickness. That ride is by far the worst ride I've ever been on for motion sickness. This ride did such a better job, even compared to Escape from Gringotts, which sometimes can give me a little issues. I didn't get it on this ride, and I think Universal did a great job of really mixing and matching where they have screens for, motion simulators and where they have like live animatronics. Now, what I would say is just because of the hype around this park and going from a ride like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure in Islands of Adventure. And Hagrid's is such a thrilling, fun roller coaster ride. Like, that's kind of, I guess, where my expectations were. And so, from a Battle of the Ministry standpoint, it really is just a very well, like, for Harry Potter fans. There's going to be every little which way you turn, there's hidden Easter eggs. And, like, you could probably go on this ride 20 times and still not be done with the amount of like, Harry Potter nostalgia that's in this ride, right? But for me, it's not my favorite ride. Like, I'm not overly rushing back to go on this ride from a thrill rating standpoint, if that makes sense. Is it amazing? Is the queue amazing when you walk in? 100%. You're going to be blown away as a Harry Potter fan. And I could just go and sit in the queue and, enjoy the ambiance in the queue. From a height requirement standpoint, we have 40 inches. And then from a thrill rating standpoint, I did give this a 7 out of 10, just focusing on immersive storytelling and dynamic movement. Over to number 3, and again, we're jumping into the coasters, and we have Stardust Racers, which is located in Celestial Park. So who loves this ride? Well, of course, thrill seekers and fans of high-speed racing coasters, especially those who enjoy dueling coaster experiences. And this is, kind of nostalgia, a nod to the dueling coasters in Islands of Adventure once upon a time. And one of the things I loved about this ride, too, is they have the flux capacitor on the back of this ride. So if you're a Back to the Future fan, keep an eye out on that. But again, of course, from a coaster standpoint, this ride is just a slam dunk. I thought it was incredible. I thought it was up there with the Velocicoaster, and it has 2 sides, so you can kind of pick and choose, which side you want to experience. And also at night, this ride was absolutely amazing with the lights and just a completely different feel from during the day. So from a height requirement standpoint, we are at 48 inches. From a thrill rating standpoint, we are up there at a 9 out of 10 due to the dual launch and, of course, the inversions that happen throughout the ride. Okay, so we're getting up there. You might be wondering, well, which one is number 1? Well, I'm not there yet, but we are at number 2 of the best ride at Epic Universe, and I have Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, and this is located in Dark Universe. So who loves this ride? Well, fans of classic horror, immersive dark rides with sophisticated technology, and of course those who enjoy a blend of storytelling and mild thrill. So from a feel standpoint, from the moment you step into the queue, the line, you're looking around, you're trying to figure out what's going on within, this mansion that you're in. And just from the different rooms that they take you through to the pre-show where you have these over-the-top animatronics, right? Specifically of Frankenstein. And then you get to the point where now you're on the ride. Just everything about this ride was so well done. And I just thought it was a similar experience to Battle of the Ministry from, let's say, a ride, just a movement standpoint. But I just thought that, and I guess it's because we've never had anything like this before, right? Where Harry Potter, we've had Harry Potter rides and we've had, stuff to try to pick up hidden Easter eggs, but we've never had a monsters ride like this before at this scale with this sort of the amount of animatronics going on throughout it. And that's why I guess it's an experience standpoint. For me, I've never been on anything like this. And even though it was similar from a movement standpoint, I just really, really loved and enjoyed this ride. And so I have it at number 2. Obviously, from a height requirement standpoint, we are at 48 inches tall. From a thrill rating standpoint, we're similar to Battle of the Ministry, where I have a 7 out of 10. And again, focusing on atmosphere and the suspense rather than extreme speeds or drops. And so now you might be wondering, well, Mike, those are the most popular rides. What do you have at number 1? And again, my honest opinion, at number 1, most enjoyable ride at Epic Universe was Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is located in How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. Yes, I know this is not as intense of a coaster as over at, let's say Stardust Racers. What I think Universal did a slam dunk on is the blend between ambiance of How to Train Your Dragon and also just a family-friendly ride that everyone will enjoy. And I really, really feel like one of the things that I loved about this ride is it's not so fast like Stardust Racers where you're trying to figure out what's going on around you. You really get to experience like you're about to go on a dragon and train your dragon how to fly. And the music from the movie is playing, and just overall, it was honestly, my opinion, a 10 out of 10 experience. We went on this ride 3 times our first day. That's how much we enjoyed this ride. And I, again, think for families, it's going to be an amazing experience to enjoy together. So who loves it? Like I said, families and fans of How to Train Your Dragon franchise who enjoy a thrilling but not overly intense coaster experience. From a height requirement standpoint, we are at 40 inches. And then from a thrill rating standpoint, we are at a 5 out of 10. But that is it, everyone. That is my list of the best rides at Epic Universe, in my honest opinion. I'm sure that you at home, whoever has been to Epic, you might have some, differences. You might feel like there's different rides that should be a number one. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you think I got the list right. Let me know what your list is of how you would rank the rides at Epic Universe. And of course, thank you for watching this video. And if you are in the process of planning that Universal Orlando trip to visit Epic, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use to book a Universal Orlando vacation package through us and save an extra $50 off that next vacation package. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.